What's going on, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be shooting some videos trying to help people use OBS Studio and other streaming equipment, hardware, and software. I already know that there's a ton of YouTube videos already out there to help people use this type of equipment, use OBS. So my goal isn't to recreate the wheel, to recreate tutorials, but to share with you some things we've learned in our channel, in our streaming, that might give you shortcuts, tricks, tips to using this software and using the hardware that goes along with streaming. I've been streaming for our church for about 8 or so years, but my background is video production and graphic design. In fact, my wife's degree is in video production, and so with her gifts and talents and my background, we've been helping a lot of people, a lot of churches, individuals, and streamers stream and use these softwares, these pieces of hardware that we're going to be talking about over the next several weeks. What I found is because I'm helping so many people, it's absorbing a lot of time, and I thought, why not just shoot the videos and point people in the direction of those videos? Before we get started, 2 things. First, subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us grow the channel and reach more people. Second is I'm not going to be cutting anything in these videos. I'm not going to be editing them in post. I'm going to shoot them live and then post them. I want you to see the mistakes that are being made. I want you to see when we can't find things and have to click through to find them and locate them, find easier ways to do things. And so let me give you what I'm streaming on currently. I am right now streaming on a PC for our Guide to Save gaming channel and for my Bible studies that I do for church. And right now in front of me, here, I'll show you my hands. I have a Go XLR, a Stream Deck over here that I'm using for the stream, and then I have an A10 Mini Pro way down here. I don't know, you can barely see it, but an A10 Mini Pro way down there. Those are the things I'm using today. I wasn't always using this stuff. Before I got this equipment, there were cheaper ways to do it, and as our channel grew and as our community grew, so did the equipment with it. But we're streaming on PC, but I will be explaining how to do this not on PC, but on my Mac. We've linked the Mac into this so that I can show you OBS from the ground up, so you can watch us as we load in all the inputs, and I can share with you what to do. Now in my stream, I normally have 2 or 3 cameras. This camera here, which is it's a Sony a6400. This is the main talking one. And then our second camera for the gaming is another on the right-hand side, a6400, which is pointing at a green screen on my left side. So on my right side is my graphic design and production computer that I use and set up with a Wacom tablet. And then on my left side here is the green screen. I'll turn my camera so you can see the green screen. This is the green screen. There's an air conditioning unit that's running right now because it gets warm in this room. So also in the equipment, I have a couple of LED streaming lights. I take a 3-point lighting approach to lighting for the stream. And so a fill light, a key light, a fill light, a key light, and a hairline light or a backlight. And so I've got some backlights behind me pointing at the back of us, the back of the chair, to help separate us from the background, because that's all real stuff. That's a computer back here. A door to the boiler room in my office. So 3-point lighting, but this setup is pretty big right now. The keyboard camera that I just went to, that keyboard cam, is a Logitech 4K camera. And then behind me, which I've disconnected so I can use it for the other stream, is a GoPro Hero black. I think it's a 4, but that gets my cam from behind so that you can see the whole setup that we have going on. So let's jump into this video, into this tutorial. What I've done is I've set everything up through here. I have this computer running through my A10 Mini, and the A10 Mini is only here for this at this point to run this computer into the PC so you can see what I'm doing. Normally I have a couple cameras plugged into the A10 Mini and I can switch between them. Now, what I did for this stream is I bought a $20 Amazon video card. What I will be doing is, after the video has a certain amount of views on it, I'll be sending this out to somebody, getting rid of it. So I might send it to somebody who's watching or who comments in the comments below. The reason I bought it was I wanted to prove that you don't need a cam link, which cam link's a couple $100. You don't need the Elgato HD60S or HD60. My PC has an Elgato card, PCI slotted card in the computer. So my input's right in through for this main camera is into the computer through that Elgato. But you'll spend hundreds of dollars on those. I wanted to test it with a $20 device to see if it works. Because cost and resources are often the barrier for people when it comes to streaming and how to get things up and running. So let's jump into this. I'm going to move my mic over and we're going to go to the Mac real fast. All right. So we are on the Mac. Let me drop this camera in here so that you can see. Actually, let me put a different camera in there because I'm going to have my back to you guys. So I'll add a camera real fast. Once again, one of my goals for this is not to have an overproduced, edited after the fact. I want you to be able to just watch what we're doing and be able to recreate it, mistakes and all. So I'm gonna move my mic over to this computer and I'm gonna walk you through, make sure you can see. All right, great. I'm gonna walk you through what's happening. First, download OBS, but please don't be confused with OBS or Streamlabs. Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs OBS, people love it. Or OBS Streamlabs, they love it. I hate it. I just don't. You're going to get what I'm talking about. You're going to look up obsproject.com. It's OBS Studio. OBS Studio. Download the one for the operating system, the OS that you have. I am using this right now on a Mac, but I stream mainly from my Windows computer. But I've just downloaded it today for the Mac to show you how to do this. Once you have it up and running, they automatically put in the onboard microphone that is on your computer. If you have a Mac, if you have a PC, you're gonna have to add that source. What we're gonna do right now, though, is we're gonna add a display to the source. Before you can do any of the sources, which is where you're gonna get your videos, the audio, you gotta add scenes. And so let's make a scene called welcome or intro to the stream. We're going to hit OK. I'm going to reorder that by dragging it to the top because this is going to be the first scene we do. So the first scene we do, I want it to be a video. I want it to be a video that that plays before my stream actually plays. So in the sources box, now that I have the intro scene ready, I'm going to hit the plus sign. Let me make this full screen for you. Great. How's that look? I don't like it. I like this better so you can see the full thing. All right. Hit the plus sign and you're going to add a media source. It's a video, media source. If it's an image, images. It's a display you want to capture, display. But right now we're going to add a media source, a video. What I recommend from the experience we have and searching for things later, when you start to get very complicated and have tons of sources, tons of scenes, name these things what they literally are. So, opener is the scene. Or is the source. I want this to be an opener video. Then, find your opener video. Give it permissions to look through your computer. So, what I'll do is, I think on my desktop, allow. I think on my desktop, I have Stay with PA. No, those are the hard videos. On this, let's see. I've got something in here. Title. What is this? Let me look at what that is. Okay, this is a welcome, an opener I've made for a Spanish class that's streaming online. So let's use that. Open. It's not going to loop. It's just going to play. There's audio to it. I want to make sure that audio is not peeking into the red. That's over modulation. I'm going to bring it down to where it no longer hits red. And think of green is go, yellow is slow down, red is no way, stop. So you want to stay in the green and tap yellow or get halfway through yellow. There's the opener video. I'm going to click it in the sources, and as it's going, I'm going to make it so it fits the screen. Now, the opener video is there, but after that open video is done, I'm going to want to go to scene 2, or maybe it's my talking scene. So I'm going to press enter. It goes right to renaming, and I'm going to make this my talking one. So maybe this is the one you full screen have for speaking to people when they first come to your stream. You welcome them right after the open video. So the first thing you might want to add for this is your camera. And so I have plugged in that $20 capture device, video capture device. I have that plugged into the GoPro. So I'm going to name this GoPro. I don't have anything existing here, so it's a brand new one. Name it GoPro. Remember exactly, name it exactly what it is. Click on devices, and here it is under USB camera. Click that. It opens up the video capture device. Make it fit your screen. And maybe this is your opener. This is what you're going to use right at the beginning of your stream. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. So glad you're here. And you talk to everybody through this one. So you go right from intro. When that's finished, you're going to press down. You're going to click on the talking one. Welcome, guys. If you have a transition, if you want a quick cut transition from this hard cut to this, you change it to cut on scene transitions. If you have your own that you've created, you can load that in here and use that. We've created 2 quick scenes. Notice how, though, there is no audio. Do you see any audio moving on this video one? This would be a mistake that's made an awful lot. Make sure you have an audio capture device as well. So I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to hit audio input capture. Oh, look, I have an existing mic there. If you have a USB mic, it will show up. After you type in this, let's say we have a USB mic. When you hit OK, you drop down the box, your USB mic is going to show up here. But I have an onboard iPhone or iMac Pro microphone. So let's use that for now. Now we've got our mic. We've got our video. We want to put any other overlays. You can Streamlabs, the website, Stream Elements, the website. You can make overlays that drop on your screen. Just so happens, I believe on this computer, I might have a couple overlays. So let's go in here and hit image. And we'll call this title overlay. And then again, you're going to search for that overlay wherever you've placed it on your computer. Mine, I believe I just have it on the desktop. Let me see. Documents, desktop. And it might be on the D2S stream. Not under my printing. Desktop here. It might be under this one. Now, if you've made any video overlays that you want to put on, you can make those in most video production. I use Final Cut Pro. I use Motion. and I make all of my overlays there. Wonder why. Maybe it's under today with PA. No, it's not. Here, let's search the desktop for it. Stream. All right, I've got some things in here. Bingo. I'll put this one right here on the desktop so we can find it easier. And then we'll hit desktop. There's another way to do it. Here's the untitled one. So this is just a PNG. Has no background to it, made in Photoshop. You grab that. You hit OK. And here it is right on the top. So you might want to resize that. Knowing that it's all black, you don't want to put it somewhere where you can't see it. You might put it up at the top corner. You might make one in white so that you can use it as a ghosted image somewhere. There's other ways to drop those in. If on your desktop somewhere you have videos or overlays that you've created, and I have some right here, you can click and just drag it in. And so this is a movie. See PA lower third dot movie right here, on and off. I've set it. If you right click it and hit properties, restart playback when source becomes active. If you have that clicked on, now every time it becomes active, it will come on. So when I go to that scene, boom, it opens up. And it'll close on its own. It'll stay closed. But if I go to a different scene and back to this scene, then it's going to show again. So what I do is I let it show up, and then I click off, and it won't show back up again the next time I come back to this scene. So for the first part of the stream, I'll have the overlay that shows. Might want to create another scene. If you're a gamer, we'll call this Fortnite. If you're streaming to play video games, you might create a Fortnite one. And for this one, you might start with a display capture. Because on my secondary monitor, I'm going to be playing Fortnite. So I'm going to capture display, and I'm just going to call this display Fortnite. Already in use, Fortnite display. Hit OK. And then you're going to select your secondary display, which on this one, my secondary display, can't be used. It's a drawing tablet, not a... Here, you know what I can do, though? Besides doing a capture like that, pretend that the software that I'm going to use, let's pretend it's numbers here. And numbers is what I'm going to share. Well, you can hit plus and capture window. And then look through all the windows that you currently have open. And use one of those windows. I'm going to hit new document on my... See how I have that window open right here now? I'm going to delete this Fortnite one. And I'm going to hit plus window capture. Fortnite game, because I don't have Fortnite on this computer. You're going to click down in your windows and you're going to find the window that you're currently playing that game in. The way I've done it on my PC is I just add displays. I hit display capture and I name it and I grab a display. Again, I don't have a secondary display on this computer. But let's leave this and let's pretend that this second one here, we do have a secondary display. Let's pretend we do. And let's just use an image instead as the background for the game. And let's just grab any image we can find that we can fill a screen with. This is, yeah, that's an image. Okay, we'll hit open, hit this, and use your imagination. Well, let's resize it to fit our screen. If it's a display you're capturing, you can resize that as well. Actually, you know what we'll do? Let's do it this way so you can't see the camera. Okay. So you got your game captured in there, and then you want to put your camera on it. So you're going to hit the plus button, video capture device, and then because we've already added that camera, hit add existing. But if you have a second camera plugged in or your computer has an onboard camera that you want to use, so we'll call this the iMac camera because we have an onboard camera. Device built in. There we go. Now we have the onboard camera. Now notice there is a green screen behind me. I can fix that green screen probably to make it fit more centered. Let me do that. It's a little more squared off behind me. There. We'll move the computer up a little bit. All right. So if I get right in the green screen, you'll see how a lot of streamers will have themselves green screened out. Holding down the Option key or the Alt key on a, it's the Alt key on a PC, Option key on a Mac. You can square off and cut out any areas that you don't want to have in the picture. And so now I've got a nice boxed only in green area, right? If you right click on that image or that camera and go to filters, you'll be able to add a filter, very easy to find, chroma key. Chroma key is green screening. And once you select it, it will cut you out. Now, here comes the problem that you'll have. If you want to use this camera for anything else and have the green screen not chroma keyed out, you can't. Because once you take an input and add a filter to it, whenever I use that camera in any other scene, it's going to add that filter to it. So I don't like doing it this way, even though it's quick and efficient. If it doesn't matter to you, you want to be green screened out, on every time you use this camera, it's green screen, then you can do what you want. For me, with my A10 Mini Pro, all four of those inputs, if I green screen them when they come into OBS, or green screen just the camera, all the others are going to have the green screen crops and everything else with it. So I don't like doing that. Instead, what I do, let's minus this effect. Are you sure? Yes. Close this out. Instead of even cropping this, let's show you this method. So I'm going to add one more scene, and let's call this gaming. Add one more scene. I'm going to hit plus image. I'm going to use the same image that we just used a second ago. Okay. And then I'm going to add that same camera we just added. And so it's camera capture device. Video capture device, I'm sorry. iMac. Okay. Now, finding them is so much easier when you name them the correct names. So let's end this scene. For whatever reason, I want to have the full widescreen. I don't want it cropped. But on this scene, I do want it cropped. Watch what happens if I right-click it and hit filters and add the chroma key to one of them. You see what's happened? It chromaed that one out. Now go down here. This one is chroma keyed out as well. Both are. I don't want that. There are some scenes where one input for me into OBS has several cameras hooked to it. Or you might want to just make one of your images black and white. And so if you hit this and you add color and you fix the color and you want to make your face black and white on one and colored in the other, you can't do it if you add filters to the camera. So instead, what you might do is click the plus sign, add a group. Name the group cam or cameras. Hit OK. And then drag your camera into that group. Now the cam is the group. And then on this one, add a different group. Add camera 1. And so now every group you use that, every scene you use that source on, put it in a group that's named something different. So now on the camera group, I'm going to add a filter to that group. Let's chroma key the group. Chroma key's done. Close. Hold down the Option key if you're on Mac or the Alt key if you're on PC. When you see the green line shows up, then you're doing it correctly. Click both sides. Get rid of the edges. And now we're chroma keyed in. We're chroma keyed in on this one. But on this one, we are not. So on this one, you might say, you know what? I didn't want to do that because I want to make this one black and white. I want to chroma key it too, but I just don't want the color effects to change. Or I want the color effects to be different on each. And so color correction. You might go into here, take away all the saturation. You might come into here and decide, I want it to be heavily saturated. I want to be blue. I want to have fun with this one or something. Make yourself a Smurf. I don't know. So now both scenes have the same input, but with different effects put on it. When it comes to any source that you put on your computer, or in OBS, I'm sorry, any source, you're going to want to put them in separate folders and edit the folder. Crop the folder. If you're going to crop something, crop the folder. Do not crop the image. Now here we are. We've got the scene that we needed for playing video games. We're ready to play, but we really want a title underneath us. You want our name on the screen. Hit the plus sign. Simply add a text. Now with adding text, you're going to find it's just a simple typing form. So we'll call this title. And select your font, whatever one you want to use. Big and bold, you might use Arial Black. Hit OK, type in this. Type in your name. Scroll down a little bit. You might want to put an outline around it. There's drop shadow underneath it. You hit OK. You resize it. And you put your name down at the bottom. You might think, you know what? I also want to put, besides my name at the bottom, I also want to put a box around the image. So you hit plus, color source, pick a color. Let's pick black. I'll type black in, hit OK. I'm gonna bring a white box in as default. I'm gonna pick a color, select black instead, and then resize that. If you want to resize it without the aspect ratio lock, hold shift down when you resize it and you can do anything you want. Make yourself a little box around you. Notice how you can't see your face. It's perfectly fine, because now you're going to click on your box and you can do it two ways. On the black source that you just added, you can click and drag down, which is the easiest way. Or you can press the arrow button down. It will bring it down in layers. I tend to like, if you're using a green screen, I tend to like leaving part of it cut out. Maybe not that severe. But just a little bit. And I tend to like not using straight colors. I like using gradients. So for instance, here's my image right here. From the game when I play, I use a gradient. I just Googled purple, blue gradient and grabbed that image and put it behind me. But the box I made, it's a video. You can make these on Motion or Final Cut Pro, whatever Adobe After Effects, whatever program you use and you like. Or, one step better, I believe that one is not the one I made. I made one, didn't like it. You go to Fiverr and log into it. And you just look in Fiverr for gaming logos or gaming overlays. That's the word I look for. Gaming overlays. Without that little line. There are plenty of people willing to do overlays for you for dirt cheap. For that frame, I think I paid 10, 15 bucks for it. 25 bucks. I will create animated Twitch gaming alerts that show up on the screen. Here's another overlay for $5. This person will make you, for $5, he'll make you a custom border for your cam, your starting screen, your be right back screen, your name, and then your social, and then even something for a full screen that you could have underneath. For $5. You know what's great about these for $5? If you don't like it, I have $15 in credits. Here's why. Because I've had people design something for me that I go, I don't like it. But read their information here. A lot of these guys will put in their information, unlimited edits. Those are the ones you want. The ones who are going to keep working until you're happy. But remember, you're paying $5. So sometimes I just, you might want to give them some grace and go, I gave you $5. I didn't get exactly what I liked, but I got something I liked out of it. And you're good to go. So I got my box there around from there, but this logo I made myself, put it on my own box. I had to edit the name areas. I just wanted the fire thing, and you can find those on Google as well. So with these just 3, 1, intro, the talking one, and your overlay, you're ready to start streaming, play the game. When you go live, there's a few things you're going to want to check out. 1, click on your settings. This box is going to open up. In general, you can leave everything pretty much like it is. You don't have to change anything. I have not changed a single thing in general in the 8 years of streaming. Under stream, select the stream that you want to use. Twitch is the one I use. Facebook I use. And then output. Make sure output's on simple. Simple is the best for you for right now if you're just getting started. And you want to slowly work this number up until your stream has issues. If people complain about it being laggy, about dropping frames, if you see it's dropping frames down at the bottom, you'll see if you'll drop frames, it'll tell you. But change this. Mine is currently streaming at 6,000, but on Twitch, people can lower their quality. So if they can't get the highest quality, they can lower it down so they can stream it faster. Audio. I believe on mine it's at 48 hertz. Everything else is the same. And video, leave these like they are. Please understand, if you decide in the video to have your base resolution at 1920 by 1080, which is a 16:9 ratio, but you're outputting it at 1280 by 720, which is the same ratio, just a lower resolution, it is scaling it. It's scaling it. You might experience some issues with scaling it, where your image is a little glitchy, or your interlacing is wrong, or people are complaining and you're going, I don't know what it is. I can't seem to figure it out. Match these two numbers if possible. 1920, 1920, or just do it 1280, and change this top aspect ratio to match it. If you can't stream at 60 frames a second or 59.9, then stream at 30. Now here's the fun part. As you saw in my, here, let me see if I can go back to this here real fast. Cancel. As you saw in this right here, I have sitting here a Stream Deck. It's a Stream Deck XL. You do not need to spend the money on a Stream Deck XL. You don't need to spend the extra money. If you want the same experience of a Stream Deck, buy yourself a cheap little keyboard that's just a numerical pad. You can get them for $8 on Amazon. Plug it in as a secondary keyboard to your computer. And when you hit settings, go to hotkeys. And in your hotkeys, the very top of every scene is the on for that scene. It's the go to that scene trigger. You can hide each individual thing in that scene, but just stick with the top one for now. And what you can do is you have 4 scenes, number them. My Fortnite game, my intro one. Let's start with the intro one, wherever that, there it is, the intro one. I'm going to name that 1 on the keypad. I want my talking one to be number 2 on the keypad. I want my Fortnite one to be number 3 on the keypad. Now, if you have titles that you want them to show up, you might say, you know what, for the title, I really want that title to show up when I press a key. And so I'm gonna put that to the plus sign on my keypad. Hit OK. Now you have I don't know if you can, let me go back to the keys here real fast. So my numbers now control the scenes. But let me try and make sure hotkeys. Switch to stream. And number 1, number 2. I wonder if one, 2, this button. And that's on the Fortnite one. And 3. Hit OK. And so what you'll find is that there are way easier things, or there's a simple method to do things. Now, without spending the money. Best case scenario, right? Best case scenario, you can afford a Stream Deck, buy the small one. You can also download the app. The app for Stream Deck from Elgato. And when you download the app, they will let you, for just one fee, do it on your cell phone. Now, another thing that I give you a heads up on real fast. If you're just going to be recording your streams, click on recording format and please change that to something you can use, like an MP4. Don't worry about the warning. Change that to something you can use. Otherwise, you're going to have to convert it here through a MUX converter here on OBS. I can explain that on another stream, but you don't want to. What you don't want to do is have to do more work after you've finished your stream, after you finish recording it. Just have it, save it, and you're finished. All right. Well, for now, listen, guys. For now, I think that's more than enough to get you started streaming. Next thing I'm going to teach you guys later on in the week, there are some other resources you can use for overlays that are free. Other video overlays. Video overlays are always better. Moving overlays add interest to your stream. But having a simple text like that is perfectly fine. It's perfectly okay for your stream. Now, let's go back. I'm going to move everything out of the way here. Let's go back to here. All right, go back to there. I fixed my green screen. So, after you have everything set up and you want to get more complicated, you see my overlay here at the bottom. I have a moving overlay with my social sites on it. You can start adding more content that way. I have alerts. You can get alerts from Streamlabs. You can get alerts from Stream Elements. You can get alerts. There's all different bots that you can use to put overlays when somebody likes your stream. And for those, all you have to do to add them is you add a browser and put the link in that they give you, and the browser overlay will show up. But I can get into that in other streams. For now, guys, I think that's more than enough. We've been discussing little tricks here for 40 minutes. That's a little longer than I'd like to go. But tune in next time. I'll get you guys some more resources of how to use OBS and find some cool features in it to help you stream better. Now, if there's something you need to know about, something that I can record, help me hit the topic that you're looking for. By commenting below, you'll be able to let me know what exactly your needs are in streaming, what issues you're having. Maybe there's something happening on your stream that you can't seem to fix that I might be able to help you with. Why don't you, in the comments, add that. And what I'm going to be doing is giving away this video capture device, the $20 one, to someone who comments below. I'll also, in the information, share this link that you can pick up one of these for yourself. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. I look forward to connecting with you some more in later tutorials. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you later.